I've got a little story to share with you. You may have heard this before. You may have heard something like this before. You may have heard a version of this story before. I know I've heard this story probably 100 different times and told 100 different ways. But this morning, I just feel compelled, I feel prompted to share this with all of you. And the story is all about conditioning. You know, we as human beings are conditioned to think a certain way, to act a certain way, to do, to be this certain way. We're basically inside of a jar. And the analogy for you is of a grasshopper. And I've heard this many times, and I'm not so sure if I have it just right, but I'm positive that the message, whether I have it perfect or not, will make sense to you. You know, a grasshopper, I believe, can jump 80 to 100 times the height of themselves. So let's say a grasshopper is an inch tall. They could jump 100 inches. They can literally leap 80 to 100 times their body. I don't know if that's completely accurate, but this is my story and I'm going to tell it the way I want to tell it. So the grasshopper can jump 80 to 100 times the height. How incredible is that? But what's incredible, truly incredible about nature, what's incredible about conditioning is if you take that same grasshopper and you put it inside of a jar. You put a grasshopper inside of a jar. Let's say we put that grasshopper inside of this jar of this amazing product called Nutrition by a little company called Euphoria. Have you heard of Euphoria? Customized nutrition made just for you. Anyway, if I emptied all of these capsules out here and I put that grasshopper in the jar and I poke some holes in the top so the grasshopper can breathe, and then I put the lid on that jar and I just set that down on that shelf right there, you know, that grasshopper is still going to jump. But what's going to happen is the grasshopper is going to keep jumping and it's going to keep smacking his head on the top of that jar. And it's the grasshopper's nature to jump. So the grasshopper will never stop jumping. But the grasshopper will start to realize that every time he jumps, and trust me, this is a lot lower than what he can really jump, he's going to smack his head on the top. And every time he smacks his head on the top, he's going to feel that pain. He's going to realize, don't jump higher than the top of this lid, because if you do, you're going to hurt yourself. Well, do you know if I took that cap off of that jar, after a certain amount of time, that grasshopper would continue to jump. And you know how high he'd jump? He'd jump to the height of the jar. Because he's conditioned, or she's conditioned, to only jump a certain height. And you know, I think that's true for us as human beings. I think we look at our lives, we look at our businesses, we look at everything we have in our world, and we have a lid, we have a ceiling on just how high we can go before that pain kicks in, right? You start a business and you just deep down inside, you know that if you go a little bit past here, it's going to hurt. Ooh, it's going to be painful. It's going to be painful. So as we as human beings only jump so high, we only work so hard, we only push so far because we know that it's going to hurt if we jump any higher. And therein lies the challenge. And I want to challenge you as I'm sharing this story for you and with you right now, but I'm teaching myself right now. I just got off the phone with one of my business partners, Yesenia. And Yesenia lives out there in Phoenix, Arizona. We had this conversation, and where this conversation came from, I don't know, but I'm watching this beautiful young woman start to change. Been friends with her for a little over a month now. Trenton Samuel introduced me to her. She's a beautiful woman. She's a dancer, owns her own dance studio. She loves to dance. That's what the woman wants to do for the rest of her life, and teach people how to dance. I love it. I love dancing, love singing. I was a dancer a long time ago. I was a break dancer. Not going to bust a move right now. But anyways, as I get to know this amazing woman, Yesenia, who's part of this amazing business that I'm building right now, and I'm just watching her grow. She's starting to read books she's never read before. She just finished the book, Rich Dad, Poor Dad by Robert Kiyosaki. She's reading the book, Think and Grow Rich by Dr. Napoleon Hill. She came to a weekend seminar that we had on December 8th called the Change Your Path Euphoria event, which was part this new amazing company, Euphoria DNA company, and the other part was Changing Your Path, Path Changers, which is a movement that I started and a phrase I coined back in 2005 when a perfect stranger changed my path and forced me to start jumping a little bit higher, start growing. Just remember this: if you're not growing, you're decaying. If you're not growing, you're decaying. Read the books, go to the seminars, go to the meetings, listen to the mentors. Get around people that are doing and being and having the things that you want to be, do, and have. And force yourself to jump. Force yourself to jump higher than you've ever jumped before. And as I look at this beautiful woman, Yesenia, and I'm starting to see everything change for her, it's a process. Remember this, growth is a process. Personal growth is a process. Personal development is a process. Becoming a leader is a process. Building a business is a process. Everything is a process. It's not an event, it's a process. But as I'm watching her go through this beautiful process, like this cocoon, this butterfly she's turning into right now, I'm just thinking about how she has to, and I have to, and we have to be willing to take off that lid and not put a ceiling or a condition on what we can have, what we can be, what we can do. Be, do, have, that's everything. And when you take that lid off and you realize, wow, I can be anything I want to be. I can do anything I want to do, and I can have anything I want to have. Woo! Does that get anybody out there excited? Does that get anybody out there excited? I'm just watching her grow and change. Now she knows what her why is in life. Now she knows what her definite major purpose is in life. I asked her to dig deeper as I've been working with her. Dig deeper. What do you want? Why do you want it? What's your definite purpose in life? And when you think you know what it is, ask yourself again, why? Well, I want to be free. I want freedom. Why? Well, my son's my why. Why is your son your why? Because I love him. Why do you love him? Because I do. It's just I'm his father. Why? Why is it important for you to achieve success for your son? Michael, why? Because I want him to have the best life he can have. Why? Because I don't feel like that I had every opportunity in life that I really wanted, and I want to make sure I provide every single opportunity and everything that his heart desires. I want to make sure I can give him those options in life that maybe I didn't have growing up with amazing parents. Don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to change anything about my life. I love where I am. It was a process I had to get here. But now that I have a chance to be super dad and be a superhero for my son and provide him the opportunities that I didn't have when I was younger. Why? Why? Because I want him to know that his dad gave him everything he could. Why? Because that's important to me to know that I'm responsible for that little human being right now to be the best father I can possibly be. Why? Drill down on why you want what you want. Drill down on what your definite purpose in life is. Drill down deeper, further. Why? When you know your why, and when you know your definite purpose in life, and you really know it, and you've drilled down to the point where you can't drill anymore, and you're crystal clear, watch everything in your life change. Watch the way you move swiftly. Urgency happens when you know your why and your definiteness of purpose. You move swifter. Your feet move faster in the direction of where you're going next or what you're doing next. When you're doing things, you'll talk faster. You'll move faster. You'll be more excited. That's when you know your why and your definite major purpose, and you start to move and you start to become urgent. You can have a burning desire, but a burning desire will lose its luster if you don't have an urgency. So I'm asking you and I'm telling you right now, for your sake, the most important video I can send you right now, no matter what business you're building, no matter what you're doing in this world, is why, and keep drilling down until you get those answers that are going to force you to get uncomfortable so you can start jumping higher than that lid. So you can start jumping twice as high as that lid, 5 times as high as that lid. You can be, do, and have anything you want to. You can be, do, and have anything you want to.